If you want to learn how to recreate this crazy special effects makeup look, then continue watching. Well, hey, what's up you guys? It's Valeria and welcome back to my channel. Without further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. To get this look started, we'll need to cover our eyebrows with washable school glue. And it needs to go on dry, clean eyebrows, so I'm making sure to get any product off of mine. A lot of people ask me why this step is necessary, and that is because we're gonna be putting liquid latex on our eyebrows later, and latex will rip out your hair. So essentially, we're protecting the eyebrows with the glue. And this does not need to be smooth or perfect because our eyebrows aren't going to be visible later anyways, as long as all the hair is covered with the glue. I'm also going to set them with some setting powder to make sure that the glue doesn't move. And now it's finally time to start sketching out the design. I'm using some water activated paint for this, but you can use like a lip liner or eyeshadow or anything that you have available. I found that the easiest way to draw on a creepy fake smile is to smile yourself and then extend the outer corners of your lips. This is the first step of the design, and we're basically mapping out where we're going to put the liquid latex later. I mapped out the smile, and now I'm mapping out the eyes. And as you can tell, I'm not filling in the eye shape, I'm just putting a few lines there to make sure that the eye shape later is going to be roughly the same size. And now it's finally time for the liquid latex. I'm using the one from Monster that I bought on Amazon, but also all the products I use are going to be listed in the description. I pour it into a smaller container, and then I grab some cotton balls. Did you know that cotton balls could be unraveled? All you have to do is find the edge and then gently pull it apart. And just like that, you can roll it out into a very thin, straight piece of cotton. And this piece of cotton is a little too thick, so I split mine into two. This is going to create the top and the bottom of our smile. Before putting any liquid latex on your face, make sure to put all the hair out of your face. Because like I said, latex does not come out of hair. It also does not come out of clothes, so please wear something that you don't care about. And now using a Q-tip, I'm going to start gently tracing out the smile. The first layer of latex dries fairly quickly, so I like to work in sections. I put it on the top of my smile, and now I'm putting on the cotton. My piece of cotton was a little too long, so I'm ripping off the excess. And then I repeat that exact same process for the bottom. Also, please notice that when I'm gluing the cotton onto my face, I'm not twisting it or scrunching it. I'm gluing it on exactly as it is, flat and fluffy. Now this part is objectively the hardest part of the process. We need to blend in the cotton with our skin. And the key here is to saturate the cotton with the liquid latex first and not apply any pressure. I like to start by sealing the edge where the cotton meets the skin and then work my way down to the rest of the cotton to make sure it's all covered in the liquid latex. And you're gonna have to re-dip your Q-tip into the liquid latex quite often so you can see how close I am holding it to my skin to make this process a lot faster. I'm also only applying the liquid latex to the outer edge of the cotton, and I'm keeping the inner edge dry. This is going to be important for the later steps. After the cotton is fully saturated in the liquid latex, you can start shaping it with a Q-tip without the cotton sticking to it. And if your cotton is sticking to the Q-tip and dragging across your face as you're trying to shape it, it just means that you did not put on enough liquid latex. I'm also extending the liquid latex past the edges of the cotton to create a seamless blend. And for the eyes, we're going to repeat the exact same process where we pull apart the cotton, put on the liquid latex, glue on the cotton, and then blend it out with more liquid latex. And for this step, you want to be a lot more careful because the skin around your eyes is a lot more sensitive than the skin around your mouth. And depending on what liquid latex you use, it can make your eyes water because it sometimes has pretty strong fumes. And I mean, I've been using the same brand of liquid latex for years, and sometimes it makes my eyes burn and water just by being near them. And sometimes it just doesn't feel like anything at all. And I have no idea what causes this difference, but I assume it has something to do with the freshness, where the fresher the batch is, the more potent it is, and the more it is prone to like make your eyes water. Regardless, when using liquid latex, prepare to be at least a little bit uncomfortable. Also, this is your friendly reminder to trust the process because with special effects makeup, you're gonna look a little crazy before looking really scary. And while the liquid latex on our face is drying, we're going to start cutting out some teeth. I'm using white cardstock paper to cut out the tooth, and I bend it with my fingers to give it a little curve. I also measure it in my mouth to check if I like its length. I'm going to cut out a strip of my paper to match the length of the biggest tooth. And now using this strip, I'm going to cut out teeth of varying shapes and sizes. And the strip is a nice guide because I know I won't cut out a tooth that's gonna be too big. At this point, the liquid latex still isn't dry, so I'm going to start filling in the empty spaces with black paint. I'm using water activated paint from Maron Makeup, which I will be tagging in the description. When this paint is dry, it has a little shine to it, which is going to be distracting later, so I will be setting this with black eyeshadow to create an illusion of a hole. Because yes, we want our face holes to look like a void. Liquid latex takes forever to dry, and I'm really impatient, so I'm doing the touch test for the outer edge to make sure that that part is dry. As long as no liquid latex is sticking to my fingers, it should be good to paint. And you can use any full coverage foundation. I prefer to use a cheaper one because you will need a lot. And I'm not saying that the foundation I'm using is pretty cheap, but it is significantly lighter than my skin tone, so I wouldn't wear it on a daily daily basis anyways. But yes, I'm going to cover my entire face with this foundation, including any cracks and crevices of the liquid latex. And now it's time to add the details. I'm going in with my Athena paint palette and using this dusty pink. But honestly, you can get away with using lipstick or even eyeshadow. But I'm using this pink shade to redefine the edges of the smile and the eyes. And now it's time to glue in the teeth, and all you have to do to do this is dip the edge of the tooth into the liquid latex and then stick it into the dry part of the cotton underneath the latex. And when doing any smiles like this, I always like to put the teeth in the middle of the mouth first and then work my way towards the edges, because the middle of the face is more visually interesting than the edges. If the tooth isn't properly staking, I will actually pull up the cotton with the liquid latex and then put the tooth underneath. This is also why we put extra liquid latex on the edges of the cotton earlier, so that we have the freedom to peel up the inner edges. But I continue this process of sticking in the teeth, alternating from top to bottom. And as you can tell, I'm using bigger teeth in the middle and then smaller teeth on the sides. And if any teeth are too long, you can carefully trim them with scissors. To create more contrast and visual interest, I'm using some red water-activated paint to redefine the edges of the mouth. I'm also using this to dirty up the teeth like they're coming out of the gums and it's dirty and bloody. And you guessed it, we have to repeat this exact same process on the eyes. And I made sure to do the eyes closer to the end because it does obstruct your vision a little bit. It kind of looks like you're looking through blinds that are on your eyes. But yes, even though your eyes won't actually be visible, you will still be able to see. It's a neat little illusion. Oh, and use tweezers for smaller teeth to get more control. There's a lot of repetition in this makeup. I'm doing the same thing to the eyes as I did to the mouth. I'm dirtying up the edges with some red paint and dirtying up the teeth too. Now it's time for the blood splatter, and all you will need to do this is a toothbrush with a medium bristle. Put extra water into your red paint and saturate your toothbrush in it. You want a lot of water here. The mixture of the paint and water should almost be like dripping off your toothbrush. Now just grab your toothbrush as I am in the video and use your thumb to flick the paint onto your skin. And the harder you flick, the more paint will come out, and the closer you hold it to your skin, the more intense the color will be. And vice versa, if you hold the brush further away from your skin, the flicks will be less noticeable. If there's one thing we like in special effects makeup, it's contrast. So I'm mixing some red and black paint to redefine the edges of the mouth once again. And I'm trying my best to keep majority of the teeth white, because otherwise they're going to blend in with the rest of the makeup and we want them to stick out. Here I realized that my face was still a little flat, so I went back in with my toothbrush to add more texture. And this is really fun because you can actually use it as contour. And it's finally time for the blood. This is coagulated blood from Maron Makeup, and it comes out really thick, and I thin it out with some water so that it's easier to work with. But you guessed it, I'm putting the blood onto the edges of the mouth and the eyes, as well as the roots of all the teeth. This type of blood never dries, which means it stays shiny, which is gonna make the mouth look wet. But also, if you're planning to wear this makeup look out, be aware that the blood will stay sticky for the whole night, so it will transfer if you touch it. But I think it's so worth it because it adds so much dimension to the face, and I think it makes any makeup look 10 times more scary. But at this point, the makeup is done, and all I have to do is put on my wig. My favorite types of wig caps are the ones with the open end, so you can put them on your hair like a headband. Pull it over your head and then just put all the hair into the net. Boom. At first, I put on a long black wig and then I sprayed it with some water to give it that like dirty, greasy look. And I do think it looked pretty good, but it wasn't the vision that I had in my head, so I ended up going with a short black wig instead. And I did a little half up, half down hairstyle to make my monster a little sassy. But this is the final look. The makeup looks great in the light, but it looks even better in the dark. And again, despite the fact that you can't see my eyes, I can see you really well. And since the liquid latex was focused around the mouth, it doesn't restrict any mouth movement, so you can freely speak. While eating with this makeup may be a little difficult, drinking is really easy as long as you have a straw. I really appreciate you sticking till the end of the video, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and subscribe. And please make sure to leave any follow-up questions in the comments and let me know what makeup tutorial you want to see next. And of course, I will see you guys another day, another time. Mwah!